It's your girl. I'm back with another video. I miss y'all. I miss talking. I miss doing these. It's just I've been in these transition spaces really in between. So things have been slowing down on this, but doesn't mean I don't crave. All I do is gotta click the play button. But I know I'm grateful to be where I am. I'm grateful to be safe and held and have all that I need. I'm grateful to be provided and protected for. I'm grateful to even have safe spaces to be in. Because, like I said, as I'm transitioning, I'm literally uprooting from my hometown and going through moving and relocating. But also before that, just coming from traveling for 2 months solo in my car, just trusting. All that journey was honestly mostly was about me trusting the process. Through the conditions that be thrown at me, through having, my power steering going out at a point, to having to stay overnight, to have that look like, to also just, when it was cold, and then also having people that I could stay with, meeting new people, people I hadn't known before going out, people I could call, that can call me. Like, none of that would have been possible if I didn't just go out and go for it. So that encourages and inspires me, even though around my world things may look like it's falling apart, but it's needed. All the things that didn't serve me anymore is falling apart and it's needed to go away. And I'm grateful, even if I don't have many things, that I can start anew. I can do this shit again and rebuild, learn about structure in my foundation. This knowing I need truly assume the responsibility for myself. Because at the end of the day, with loved ones, I'm grateful to have people that support me. But if I am not supporting what I need emotionally, mentally, spiritually, I'm not feeling important to the spaces that I'm seeking out, there will always be a continuous seeking or trying to get that from outside of me when I know I could give me that. And when I could give me that, I know that is the standard of which I require from others. Meet me where I met me. I could meet you where you met me. So many changes in my life that I can't say that right now I feel like I've been getting prepared, but over time you feel like you know how you get a job and they just throw you out there to flow for you to figure it out. That's how I feel like life be throwing me. Just going through vitiligo was like life was just throwing me, but it got me to here, preparing me to be right here, opening my mouth and sharing the experiences, the reality for me. I'm really starting to get consciously aware of how people start to perceive you and your walk and your story. And I used to feel like I don't have anything that people could be jealous about or upset about, because if you really walked in my shoes, you would understand. And I'm still overcoming parts of me that's requiring me to be seen, overcoming that part that I always wanted to be behind the scenes, want to withhold and not speak up. There's no more of that. to have. Like, I have to have this type of, like, my protection have to be this confidence. This protection have to be this conviction. Like, my protection be the passion that's followed behind my voice, the spirit that speaks through me. Like, that has to be. Thought when I came home that things were going to be so hard, but when I got there, I nearly didn't have to really lift the thing as far as my movie and my things. I really just had to gather the bags since I was packed. You know, we had spaces for us to put our things, and also I had a place to go lay my head, and also had people who could help me. Because when I got back home, my brakes really went out. I drove the fucking brakes out, literally. And then I was realizing, like, damn, and for the sake of me trying to be available, for the sake of me trying to be there, I'm putting myself at much risk. And that's how the life that is easy for me to put myself at risk for others. But how great is the risk I'm willing to take for myself? But, you know, for me to do what I need to do, to accomplish the things I need to accomplish, and to be who I am. So me going out for those 2 months across the country seemed like it was crazy, but that was the greater risk I was willing to take. And figure out what was going to come along the way. I'm here to share the journey and the story with you. Because I'm here to always be that testimony that whatever we go through, we can get through it. Whatever pain you feel, you can get through it. You don't have to rush the process. You don't have to put a time on it. You don't have to make others understand it or validate what you are feeling. And I had to remind myself. Because I would take away my own hurt and pain and discomfort for the sake of others. That shit don't work for me. It don't work. And that's no one else's fault. It's for me to be seeing myself, you know. We always talk about being aware of things and knowing things, but what does knowing something has to do with if you're not applying it or using it? There's no, I'm saying it's like that's taking up space, you know, unused data, you know, you're using up the data in my brain and my time, and I'm not utilizing the tools or utilizing the information, just having just junk, I would say. Things are just lingering, I need to purge and clear it. And in my clearing right now, in my purging, I realize I have to release people, to release locations, I have to release mindsets, I have to release things that I don't serve, bro. Like, it's like so hard because shit, it could be so comfortable there. I could love you. Like, the hardest thing is letting go of someone you love. Knowing that it's time to, even me, like, it's parts of me that fucking have to go. We have to die for us to be. I'm gonna get through it. I'm just gonna be amazed about, like, the journey, because I feel like I'm going through another one of those seasons where, because I remember back in college, like, right when my dad died, and it was like a Christmas break, but I didn't go home and I stayed there, so everyone was gone. It was so dark and cold, and I was so alone, and I didn't have any more vices. Like, all my weed was gone. It was just me and myself. And I'm telling you, bro, that shit was like deep purging, crying because I hadn't cried in so long. I just remember just fucking crying all the time, like. But then that's when I started getting into like fasting and just sitting with myself and writing and being introduced to Sadhguru. Even though I don't listen to him anymore, but it was just those initiations. But what brought me there was, like I said in the previous video, was grief. What initiated, and I realized, but you know, grieving from a loss of my daddy's death. But I've been grieving all my life. Honestly, to think about it, like when vitiligo started, that was a death of a self that I knew, and I was continuously having to relearn it. I was continuously really having to become comfortable with the me beyond the skin that you see. You know, I'm still learning to allow her to be seen. I'm still learning to like just walk outside and fucking just be myself and not feel like, damn, motherfuckers are watching me, but those folks do be watching and looking, and then so what, you know? I'm at that point now, like, so what? But it was a moment where I was so invested into the eyes that see me, into the minds and the mouths that speak of me. Like, your voice is not mine, and what your perception of me is not who I have to be or who I am. Like holding that principle for myself. It's beyond what you see with me, like literally. And we, like, yes, I know they say the first impression, you know, appearances matter, yes. But if you was to deny the wisdom of a homeless man because of how he looked, or just deny the grace of a prostitute, you know what I'm saying, because of their work. We can't just get caught up into the image when the message still applies.